What's going on, boys? How are ya?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm assuming it's probably warmer where you guys are than where I'm at right now.
No, it's cold. It's very, very cold.
It's snowing here, and this is what it's
Wow.
been doing every night. It'll snow like a half of an inch, and in the morning it's just slick enough that you have to like ski to work, and then by noon it's gone.
Right, right.
Cody's like,
we don't
I
know
don't
what
have to worry
snow
about that.
No, it was really, really hard here. Like 10 years ago, I don't think Cody remembers, but it was like when we worked at Central Carolina together. Remember that, Cody? Yeah, it was just a mess. Yeah, so that was like 10, 12 years ago. So
yeah, every once in a
up
while.
here in Michigan, we get 10 inches, and people are like, "Hold my beer, I'm going to the grocery store." You know, you guys get a half an inch down south, and it's like, "Oh my gosh."
Right.
Who are we going to send? You know, it's like a major event, and people get in accidents and off the road everywhere. And Caitlin said I didn't recognize you without the green screen.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that. Like I was saying before we went on, I got my my WGS here, my white girl special, and the green straw was keying out. I actually had it on.
Look at that! I was late. I had 2 weeks in a row where I made it on time, and I blew it.
Hey man, you know
that's strike two. Say one more and you're out of here.
What's up, about, man? Yeah. How you doing?
Oh, not bad, not bad.
Good.
So I know we have limited time because Cody, you have an auction on whatnot tonight.
Yeah, 9 o'clock. I literally just finished putting like the last few things up before I got on here. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun tonight for sure. A lot of cool stuff tonight. Slacker
Hey, man.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming.
You gotta take it just like, you know, because Cody regular me and most times tonight and just get right back at him, so it's all right.
Yeah.
Probably worse than when you deserve it, you know. So.
Well, he's been doing better. I mean, it's definitely not like my last show where I had no co-host until we got 38 likes, and if there were only 15 in the chat, it was like 45 minutes to an hour later. I think people were like going in unliking, trying to get us to 38. So the whole show would go by, and he still wasn't in there. But I mean, it was his thing, and it was funny, and people liked it. So. But let's say hi to the chat. We've got Golden Collectibles. We've got Ezra of the Flip Cake in here. We've got Sassy. What's going on, Sassy? Caitlin, go look at my comments on your video. Dead Zone's in here. What's up, Daddy? Mitch is in here. Umpty Scratch. Have you guys seen UmptyScratch.net yet? Have you seen how he puts all of our shows on?
He's great.
Miss Mama J, I'm following up here and heading straight over there. Gem Pops, what's going on? Your box came today, sir. I'm excited. I know I'm not allowed to open it yet, but it is what it is. Tats, what's going on?
What's up, Tats? What's going on, guys?
They're all funneling
Did Jim Pops do another box today, or am I getting mixed up?
Yes, he did another box today.
Okay.
He did one, I think it was a $30 box, so it was a little bit of a lower value or a lower cost box. I think the top one was like 135. It was a 2-pack. And I don't know if you got something in the glam shot no matter what, or how that worked out. What's going on, Eric? And then Teresa Newell just showed up too. But, yeah, that just came that came really quick. The box that I got today that I opened on the video right beforehand, I think that took like a week to get here. That was Comic Book Poser's box. That took like a week to get here. And then, my boxes, they took like a week or 10 days. Like, it's still all goofed up. So
yeah, I got
Cody.
Chaos. It's I got so many boxes to jump in. I've got to get a Gem Pop now.
Yeah, his new, like, what is it? I think it's $50 or $60 or something like that. Is a bigger box now. So, I told Sassy that if he still got them on Friday, then I'm probably picking one up. Hey, Christina Payne, what's going on?
Christina.
All right, so guys, I have a question. So I've played Jeopardy on here, and I know there's some other people do. So how did you guys kind of settle on the whole Wheel of Misfortune, the whole theme of doing that and doing like a game show within the collecting community?
That's all this guy.
Yes.
I get credit. I just said, okay, I'll go see. See, anything that Cody has is a good idea, but sometimes I got to really make them like, oh, that's not gonna work. But this one really kicked butt, so yeah.
No, it's taken off like the first.
Yeah, big time.
Go ahead, Cody.
That was the that was like the hardest. That was like the hardest thing, probably on the whole channel to do. Is coming up with that, and yeah, I tried a lot of different games out. But settled on this one, and it just kind of came together, and I was like, you know what? I'm like, I wanted something that people could easily recognize. And the hardest part at first was I found the game, and the game was like, it's still in beta. Like there's a lot of things actually wrong with it, but I've used it so much I know how to get around all of it now. But it's everybody, people know Wheel of Fortune. The part that I had to come up with chat involved, because we want to get the chat involved. How do they win stuff? So once we got that going, I tried like me and Tyler wanted to go back to back doing game show nights. And if you haven't checked out Homespun Geek, check out Tyler too. They do the Kahoot trivia. And we talked, and Tyler was like, "Why don't you do Kahoots, man?" And I'm like, if you know me, if I can't do it like my own way or come up with something original, I'm just not going to do it. So I was like, no, I don't want to do Kahoots. Nothing against anybody that does Kahoots or trivia games. That's not the point. Do something different, Yeah. And we came up with the game. Finally got the game worked. And if you're around at the beginning when we first did Wheel of Misfortune, we used to do 8 rounds. When I was like, this is kind of going on. So I cut it down to 6 rounds. I'm thinking even maybe cut it to 5, because we want to really about an hour to 15, hour, 20 minutes. The people we want to bring on, it's more about, it's not just Funko people where we're going to be bringing on anymore. There are always going to be Funko channels, but we want to bring different people on, like people you might would meet at like Comic-Con conventions. They're not doing that. They're not doing that anymore until COVID gets figured out. So we're going to be bringing on all types of people. You will see what they're going on. Like Neil had his book, that Neil Ross that was on last night, had a book out. And he can't go to Comic-Cons. We talked about that and do book signings and stuff. So this is how he can interact with people, just like virtually. But go back to the game. It was, we wanted to do something different, and we want to make it unique, but kind of something that was universally known at the same time. And the Wheel of Fortune really worked out. And I changed a lot of it around from where it started. It was completely different than when we launched it. But I think we're at a place now that I really love. I hope people like it.
Well, it's really taken off. I mean, I've caught the last several episodes, and so I know that you got involved. Is it Indie Pod? Is that what it was?
Yes.
And Indie Pods is something I probably, in a normal world, it's for podcasters. It's not really for YouTube channels. But I have a friend who's in it, and she really wanted me to do the game show as a part of it. And that's why I joined. That's why I joined that group. Okay.
And you were up for an award. Did you guys end up winning?
Yes. Yeah, we did. We won, and we appreciate it, man. There's a lot of community support to come out. And at first I was like, I don't even know if we'll get enough votes or whatever. And then it was like, I was like, let's just see what happens. We put, we were entered on there. We were getting votes. So we were like second or third. I was like, well, let's just, let's see what happens. And actually trying to talk about it and promote it. And we ended up winning. And that's like really kind of opened up some doors for us this year. And so that was really cool.
Yeah, because I went and voted for you, but I didn't hear if you guys had won. And so I was rooting for you, because I was like, it's a cool thing when, I've seen you since Pink Dress days and everything.
Yeah, that was a wild night. Yeah.
Don't worry, someone else likes to
do that on weekends.
dress the things he should have.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I've already talked to Cody about it. I said, "Oh, we're gonna have to go back and both wear a dress at the same time."
There you go.
Walk off.
There you go.
Runway walk off.
Run.
No,
Troy, honey, there's one outfit that we can't bring back, and that's Tommy Pickles.
No, that one was worse than the waiter looking one.
Yeah, diaper was a wee bit tight there, brother.
Okay, I appreciate that. I'd rather wear less clothes than just wear that diaper because my ass crack was completely out. I mean, butt cheeks were frozen. It was ridiculous.
Ooh, well, I'm kind of glad I missed that one.
Yeah. I'm surprised anybody came back. I was pretty sure that was the end of it. Somehow people came back.
Yeah.
Hey, Clara.
Short run of the show.
So, how did you find the people, like the celebrities that you're getting now? Is this through the Indie Pod, or is it just you guys reaching out to different people and them agreeing? Because I mean, I know throughout different shows, especially like the world record guy, I wasn't expecting him to say yes. I was kind of expecting him to be a little shy and not really want, to come on a small channel like ours and everything else. But I mean, you had the guy from SNL on, you had Neil on last night. So how have you guys been able to like cross that bridge of now being able to get celebrities? And I know that you said that you've got a lot more coming.
Yeah, it's indirectly and directly. Yes, it's a difficult question to answer, but some of that is related to IndiePod, some of it's not. There's people who I've met who they believe in the show and they believe in what I'm doing and the vision I've laid out for the show, and they want to succeed. And there's some people who are out there who are helping me get guests and stuff to come on the show, because what I've tried to pitch it as an idea that, if somebody, right, this is the easiest way I can do it. Like not everybody likes Funko Pops. We can all agree on that, right?
Right.
Right.
So not everybody likes Funko Pops, right? But most people like game shows. So if somebody doesn't care about Funko Pops, there's still something they can do. But I've been super surprised the people we bring on, they all know about Funko Pops. They know what they are. So let's say Neil Ross that comes on, and he knows what Funko Pops are. Let's say he's never watched Collector T or any YouTube channels. Well, maybe since he comes on, he's like, well, you know what? Let me check a video out. He tells people about it, and it brings people who weren't into it in the community ever to bring in before. That's what it's about. Is reaching. We got to reach outside of the community to bring people in.
Right.
Agreed.
I think that's what Troy and I kind of try to do is not, I mean, yeah, we all have Funko Pop backgrounds or right now and everything else, but what we've tried to do with Collector TV versus what I was doing with the Owls was we've gone back into what you guys liked as kids. Like what like sparked you and made you like light up when you were a kid. Like you couldn't wait to open it on Christmas morning. It was the thing that you asked for, and it doesn't have to be Funko related. We've done My Pet Monster. We've done Dino Riders. We've done movies like Goonies and Back to the Future and everything else. Now, can you tie Funko into most of those things? Yeah, because Funko's done a lot of those lines. But at the same time, we've tried to make it so that we're not limited to just the Funko Pop world, and so which is cool. So I kind of want to start off with James' topic, because what you said that you want to talk about was comics.
Yes.
So I dropped a video right before the show, but I got this today.
Nice. I'm sure Cody would love to steal that from you right now.
And I was showing Cody, like, even on his face, there's like question mark scars on his face, which is super cool. And I got this from Comic Book Poser. He reached out to me. He's like, I know you don't have a slab. I know you really want one. I've got one that's reasonably priced. He goes, what do you think of the Riddler? And I was like, well, I kind of got this other cool one from this other dork that I know. So I have this one too.
All right. Oh, it's 3D. Wow.
Oh yeah,
They come a long way to make the comic books. Because when I was 14, 15, high school days, I used to collect all kinds of comic books. It didn't matter, G.I. Joe, Ghost Rider, X-Men, X-Force, all that good stuff. And yeah, there's something about comics that I really gravitated to when I was younger. I don't know what it was, but I absolutely loved comic books, And right now they're back in my parents' house. They're upstairs. I got like 4 or 5 long boxes full of comic books, old comic books. So I'm pretty sure I have a good bit of money, later on if I really wanted to sell them,
Are you like me though? Like I have an entire box, and I kind of embarrassed myself. I had JB on from Discovery Bay Comics, and we went through the box because I was asking questions because I started looking on websites and things and what I thought was the value, and what I didn't understand was none of mine are graded. So when I was looking, I'm like, "Ooh, this one's worth $50." Well, yeah, if it's
Right.
graded at a 10,
Right.
and mine have just been sitting in a cardboard box, so they're not in perfect shape or anything like that. But do you focus on an entire line, James, or do you pick and choose ones that have what do you guys call it, keys? Is that the right terminology?
Yep.
I really don't know because I'm not, a comic book collector anymore. But me, I used to. Now this is gonna make Cody mad because I used to collect a whole lot of Batman comic books, and he was like, "Nope, you didn't. You don't like Batman. I do like Batman. I'm just always playing with you." But yeah, sometimes if I find a really good comic book that I really really like, I used to go in there and subscribe monthly. You to go in there, tell the comic book owner, "Hey, I want this. I want you to hold this particular series for me. Put it in my box, let's call it. And every month I would go back and pick up the next book. But there are some comic books that I really didn't gravitate towards, and I just collected 1 or 2 of them. But yeah, but I didn't know about how to grade them until way later on in life. So, but my comic books are pretty much clean because I used to get those backings and put them in plastic bags. I don't know what the correct terminology you call it is today, but yeah, and mine are really really well kept.
So, Cody, you like Batman comics?
Yeah, I mean, I personally
Yeah, there they are.
hardly, but yeah, you got the good ones. The good ones just flex on me. Just go, oh yeah.
Yeah, he just sent me these. He said I didn't know this was coming. I couldn't figure. I went to pick up the box and I was just expecting the slab to be in there. So it was like one of those things where either you pick up something you think is going to be super heavy and you like whip it up, but this one I like almost dropped it because I expected it to be super light, and I was like, whoa! And it was super heavy. And when I opened it up, he had sent me a mystery box, and it's all of these Batman comics.
Yeah.
In here, in DC Comics, there's some Catwoman in there. I mean, where's my favorite one? Now I got to find out where the third one is because he sent me these Arkham Reborn.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, really cool cover art.
But it's just 1 and 2, so now I got to find number 3 because I want that. And then he sent me this. This is cool. This has got Azrael in it.
Right.
And then this is my favorite of all the covers that he sent me because it kind of reminds me of Spawn, the way that is.
Yeah. I mean, I had Spawn #1. I didn't really dig Spawn back in the day, so I got episode. Book 1 and 2, and then I just died down. But my main book that I'm gonna flex on y'all right now, and Cody might want it, is when Bane broke Batman's back. I got the first pressing of it. And that was $10 back in the day. And my mom's like, "Yeah, I don't know. That's $10. That's too much money. Because $10 was a lot back then.
A lot of money, yeah.
Now it's,
with what we spent,
play money. Yeah. So so I got it. I got it in my house. So who knows? So that was a really big deal for me to get that one because I really liked Bane. Because I got the first appearance of him, and I'm like, oh my god, he broke Batman's back. What? So right? I had to see how he did it. Yeah.
That is actually the first book I ever bought from a Comic-Con.
Really? Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I never went to a con until, oh man, I would say it would be about 7 years ago.
Right.
And that was the first book I had ever bought. I had bought comics, from a shop, stuff like that. But I had seen that one and I was like, all right, I'm going to grab it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm glad I did, but
yeah,
it was. That was right when the hype came out for Batman Adventures 12, the first Harley Quinn, and the first appearance of Deadpool for New Mutants 98. Like, that's when that stuff started to just go wild.
Yeah. I also got the death of and rebirth of Superman. You know, on those black and white covers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, how can I not get it? I love Superman to death. You know,
So we had a comic book store here in my tiny little town, and I actually started with all of the series leading up to his death, and then all of the branches afterwards, because there were like 4 different storylines going on before it came back to the white bag. So I have that whole entire set with all the Doomsday ones and everything.
Yeah.
Apparently they're worthless.
Troy, go ahead, James.
No, go ahead.
Well, Troy, I was wondering the same thing, and Eric just asked it. What's the ghost face thing behind you? Is it ghost face?
They're like horror mugs. They're from FYE.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell what it was. I knew it was. I thought it was ghost face, but I couldn't tell what it was.
Yeah, I only got a couple. I had
the whole time, and Eric just asked it, so I was like,
"Yeah, that does be cool."
Yeah, I got a.
Oh, okay, cool. Like a little
tiki. Okay, yeah,
like a tiki cup.
I got a tiki of like Kirk Hammett. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I want to get some more of them, but these are the only 2 I've gotten so far.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just like I just knew that image. I could see it was Ghostface.
Yeah.
So go ahead,
real
Troy.
Quick. So like, I mean, this is kind of bouncing back to like about your show and bringing in, you know, maybe guests that aren't, you know, just strictly Funko related, stuff like that. Kind of ties in with, like, for me going to my first Comic-Con. What was it that got, I guess both of you guys, what got you guys to dive this deep into stuff? So for me, it all wrapped up with, like, The Walking Dead blew up. I watched it from the first day it came out. So then that got me to, oh, there's stuff I want to collect. Like, you know, there's some cool prints. There's some cool comics. I went and got the comics. That turned me to a Comic-Con. And then I realized I was a nerd. Like, at that point, that's when I realized it. Like, my whole life, I'm serious. My whole life, I was like the class clown, but played a lot of sports. And that's all I cared about. But then once I got in there, I was like, holy crap. I'm going to tell you right now, the geeks and the nerds are the ones that know how to party. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't care. You can say what you want about the jocks and stuff in school. They had nothing on the things I've seen at these Comic-Cons.
No, they don't know what's going on.
That's what opened the door for me, is like, from that moment forward, I thought I was like, oh, I'm too cool for this. I'm not interested in that stuff. What is it that, because I think it's something that a lot of people don't realize they like. I don't think people realize they have this connection to this kind of stuff until they find, like, they just accidentally run into it, like I did. You know, like Walking Dead, and then I just happened to go to a Comic-Con, and then all of a sudden I'm a freaking nerd on YouTube with 1,000 pops. Like, what happened? So, like, I guess what got you guys into it?
You want to take it first, James?
Sure. I kind of want to say I was born a nerd, because back, you know, I was born in 1980. I'm 41 years old now. I didn't know what a nerd or a whatever we call it now was, you know. Ever since I can remember, I started collecting G.I. Joe, Transformers, Voltron, Thundercats, comic books. So that's stuff that I like, that really gravitated towards me, you know. And I remember watching G.I. Joe on TV. I'm like, hey, yep, I gotta have those figures, you know. So I went every week to go get 1 or 2, and then, you know. But it's been a really a good thing to have these Comic-Cons now, because when you grow up with stuff that you collect, and you meet people that does the voices, that does your favorite TV show, you're like, oh my god, I know who you are, you know.
Yeah.
So for me, I was always born a nerd, you know, per se. So yeah, that's just my answer. I don't know if that answered your question. Yeah, Star Wars. Man, I love Star Wars too. Yeah.
This is what I got into, was metal lunchboxes, and I was, crazy about finding the thermoses for them.
Yeah,
I cannot be upset with anybody that, like, just, like, their whole life they kind of knew. I'm actually jealous, because it took me until I was 23 or 24 to realize.
Oh no!
Like, you know, I missed so much time, and now I'm like, have to spend all this time to catch up. So
right.
I get it.
So, Cody, I know you only have a couple minutes left, and I want to get into your topic. So, Power Rangers, and I have to admit, when Power Rangers came out, I think they came out in 1993. I was 16 at the time, so I was into cars and boys and volleyball, and so I missed the whole Power Rangers thing. Now, my brothers both watched it, and so I did a little reading up because I wanted to sound smart, even though I'm just going to tell you boys right now, I know nothing about the Power Rangers other than I know they come in a rainbow of colors. And I know they did movies that did pretty well recently, but it's kind of based off a Japanese theme. It's not anime, but it came to the US. Is that my understanding? And it ran for quite a while, yes?
Yeah. I think it's on, I think you can still find it on Netflix, like the original. And it's funny, like, of course, growing up, you're watching it. Like growing up when you're watching Adam Sandler movies, was Adam Sandler really funny? It's like watching Power Rangers. Like, well, Power Rangers is good because now you go watch it now. It's like, this is cheesy, yeah. But like real when like you were like a teenager or a kid watching it, and it just connected, and like that's what everybody was talking about. And that was like the hot show, growing up, and then it had such like a wide variety of people, and then like being a teenager, they had the cute girls, so then they had to pull you in, and they had the cool guys who knew all the martial arts action moves. So I mean, it was just so cool, and it had cool storylines. So it just got me hooked back here because, and I hope you guys can hear me and see me okay. My webcam crapped out, so I'm using my MacBook, but I hope y'all can hear me okay. I can't see it right now, but I've got a lot of these behind me are signed. I got an Austin St. John Red Ranger signed, and I'm hoping to get a Tommy figure signed at some point too. But that's kind of like my goal too, is to try to get like a lot of them signed now. But with cons being shut down, that's the hard part right now.
Yeah.
Well, I know what Zobi, and then what's the one that just did the whole signing with Christopher Lloyd.
Oh, shout out. Shout out.
Yeah. So they've started, I think
that's
the nice part of it is because there are no cons, that these companies have come up and been able to bridge the gap of feeding that need.
Right.
Because like last year I was supposed to go to the Motor City Comic Con. I had VIP tickets. That's all I asked for my birthday. And I bought Pops because the guy that played Wedge Antilles from Star Wars was going to be there. So I bought the Wedge Pop. I wanted to get that signed. I bought a Kiefer Sutherland Pop because I wanted to get that signed. And then it got canceled, and I was like,
"Yeah, yeah, what am I gonna do now?"
I only have.
And I definitely would do more of the Zoe and V shouts, but I get it if that's your only way you think you can do them. I definitely tell people send it in. For me, I would probably send more stuff in, but I really want to meet them.
Yes.
And get it signed like in person.
Yes.
That's part of the whole experience for me. I never seen anything in signed because I do want to meet them. But you're right. I mean, that might be your only way is to sign something, get something sent in. But I always try to hold out hope, and I'm hoping later this year stuff will get back to normal and we can go back to Comic Cons again. And But yeah, that's just a cool experience. Like you getting to talk to them and meet them, and just learn some things, maybe about them if you can get a chance to talk to people first. Man, like I got to meet Kevin Conroy, last year, and I mean, like he was at a comic all 10 minutes, and that was just a cool experience because I was like, man, this is the voice of Batman and everything for me growing up. All the games I played, I mean, he's been the voice of Batman and everything, animated series. So, I mean, just getting to talk to him is a big plus.
Now, see, with Neil last night was cool for me to listen to him because when I was a kid, that's when the G.I. Joe animated series came on and Shipwreck, I got the Shipwreck Pop somewhere because that's like my favorite G.I. Joe character. So when I saw that you had him, and then I was looking to do the little intro like hype video, and then I saw that he was also Clyde in the Pac-Man animated series. I'm like, no way! Like I love the Pac-Man animated series too. So that was super cool, and it's something that you guys kind of tied the childhood, the collector aspect in with Neil last night. So that was super cool. And I actually downloaded the audio book of him reading his own book.
Yeah.
So I get to listen to him, and I'm hoping when I get to a certain point, I'll do some of the voices.
Yeah, his book sold really well last night, and you were glad to help him with it, you know.
Talking about some of the stuff he was in, he's been in so much, and he was in the Intrix game, but like he'll tell you like some of the stuff I worked on for like 4 hours, and I'm in the credits of it because I use my voice in it. He's like, people come up to me at Comic Cons and say, "Hey, you remember me? Yeah, I remember you being in this game." And he's like, he doesn't remember it all. He's been in so much because he's like, "Do you remember everything you do for like 4 hours a day, like from 20 years ago?" And I was like, "Yeah, it makes a lot of sense." And sometimes this is more common now, but a lot of times these voice actors would do video games. They don't know the name of the game they're working on sometimes until after it comes. So it was interesting getting to talk to him. He was a cool guy.
That you can learn so much from those people. That's why I want to meet him in person. Whether it's top celebrities or just local artists, stuff like that. It's because I don't know very much, but what I do know is what I learned from people like them. So it's insane.
Well, I got 2 more questions for you, Cody. The second one I think is going to take a little bit longer, so I'm going to ask you the first one. So you kind of showed me some of the stuff that you had before the show started. Why, out of all of the helmets that you could get, why the Green Ranger?
And honestly, now at GameStop, I worked at GameStop, I think, when this came in. I don't think, I know they had the Green Ranger helmet and the Red Ranger, and then they got the white one, but I don't think they were ever available I'm sure you could get them online, but we were able to order them, and me working there got a great price on it, and I picked up the green one for that. I would like to get the red and the white, but yeah, the green was my favorite.
Green was your favorite?
Yeah.
See, the black and red were the 2 that I liked. Like when I did catch it watching with my brothers, those were the 2 that I liked. James, Eric has a question. He says, "Are you a huge Kiss fan?"
Yes and yes. Both yeses. And another thing to Mama Day, these are albums up here that I have displayed right here. I do love Kiss, and this was the first ever album that I ever listened to them. It's Dynasty. Okay. I've been a Kiss fan for years and years and years. I've seen them 3 times. They put on an amazing show. I will say this: so I saw Aerosmith with Kiss, and Kiss went before Aerosmith, so Aerosmith kind of sucked for me. Because how are you going to have a band that shoots off all these fireworks, and you come on and just stand there and sing? That didn't make sense to me.
Right.
But I am a big Kiss fan, big music fan. I do collect albums instead of comic books now. I have about 200 vinyl records now, I think. I need to recount them. But,
wow.
Yeah. So yep. They're my pride and joy right now. So yep.
So my big question though is, because of your show and everything, and the how you guys, the direction you've taken it, if each one of you had a dream guest that you guys could have to play Wheel of Misfortune, which I would recommend possibly when you have those big celebrities on, maybe taking that other loser turn off, because I saw what happened last night. Poor Neil, couldn't even play.
Yeah,
I'll address that too. When I beta tested the game, I had one loser turn on there, and we beta tested it. People went the whole game without landing on. Went on, and then it's like, poor Neil. I don't think that's happened that many times. I felt bad for him. But dream guest, yes, I do have a dream guest, and he's one of my favorite video game voice actors. He's done the voice of Nathan Drake in Uncharted. His name is Nolan North. If anybody's best friends with him, just shoot him a message for me. Nolan North and Troy Baker are 2 of my favorite video game voice actors. And that will be my goal, is to one day get them 2 on.
Very cool. James?
Okay, so I have two. One would be, of course, Peter Cullen, the voice for Optimus Prime and Predator. Another, and I really want to try to get him on. I don't know his name per se, but I just know him as Bo Duke from the Dukes of Hazzard. I
Oh, yeah.
really want him
John
on
Schneider?
here. Yeah, yes. Yeah, he Dukes of Hazzard was my main show growing up. So he's meant a lot to me. So yeah.
Troy, do you have a dream guest you'd love to get on here?
Oh, I haven't even thought about it. Like,
Like you didn't know that was coming? Like I'm going around
yeah,
the board.
I know. I'm sitting here thinking,
And that next is her turn. So
I mean,
Oh, I could name mine in a heartbeat.
go ahead. Yeah.
go for it.
Ryan Reynolds. I would
I
love to
was
get
just
Ryan
about
Reynolds
to say
on.
Ryan Reynolds. I swear to God, I was like,
Absolutely.
just bring Ryan Reynolds. Like that.
Well,
That's
because
fine.
of the whole Deadpool thing, but also the fact that he has been around. I mean, he was in movies when he was a kid, but he also I see the stuff that he does on Twitter and on Instagram and how he plays like off of other people like Hugh Jackman and stuff like that. I just think he would be a fun, lively guest and like go with whatever you throw at him, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And the other one that I would love to have on is honestly Kate Beckinsale. And
Yeah.
I know she's kind of fruity. Everybody thinks she's fruity now, but when she did Underworld,
Yeah.
Like-
So yeah.
she bounces like within the first 30 seconds of the movie. She jumps off this building and lands, pops up, and starts walking. And I was just like, boom!
Right. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, she'd be awesome. Ryan Reynolds too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm going to post a link to him. I'm going to tag him and be like, "You need to go watch this video. I really want you to come on, even if it's 2 minutes."
Do it now. Yeah.
What else are you doing? What else are you doing? I mean,
Somebody I would love to have on would be a WWE legend, and it was like the first girl in my life that ever left me speechless. Like I just looked, and this is a Comic-Con story, so I would love to actually be able to like fix this issue, but it would be Lita from WWE. The first con I ever went to, it was one of those you could, walk up. It wasn't even expensive, but you could go and talk to them and not even pay anything. I literally locked eyes and froze. Never been speechless. I mean, shocking. I'm always running my mouth. I was completely speechless. And first she looked at me, gave a smile, friendly. I still couldn't talk. I was kind of at a distance, not right in front of her, but she looked again, and then the look of like, this dude's creepy kind of crossed her face. And I was like,
Oh no.
I don't know what to do here. Like, the only time in my life I was just like, I don't know. So yeah, that would be one. I would love to avenge that terrible, across the room look.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's all.
Well, Cody, I know you got a jet. James, if you want to stick around a couple more minutes, we can talk for a couple more minutes. But Cody, thank you so much for coming on. And you know what? If you ever get a slow week and you need fill-ins, give us a call. We're good at being competitive with each other.
I want people that's going to talk trash to each other. That's what I really want.
There you go.
No friends crap to each other the whole time like me and
I can
Jay.
do it. Well, I'll tell you,
There's no hold
this
hard
chat-
when it was him and I.
Yeah, this chat, they're begging to find out who wins in an arm wrestling match between you and I. They're saying that I need to walk.
Oh, let's go.
No. Boom.
20. We got 24-inch pythons going. Let's go. Uh-oh.
They said I look like the Hulk Rage and I'll wear a diaper.
The flannel makes mine
I should
bigger.
throw you off your game.
The camera has 5 pounds of muscle.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
You should see these things. There's nothing there. No.
Uh-oh. He didn't pay the light bill.
Apparently you scared him away.
There is nothing there.
Well, thank y'all
Well,
again.
Cody,
Yeah,
good luck tonight. I'm going to be on Mama J's, but hopefully you're still going when I get done there, and I'll swing by and say hi. But thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it.
yeah, if you guys want to just even come say hey and also come by and say hey. Thank y'all.
All right. Good night, Cody.
All right.
And we still don't have Troy at all.
Okay, well, that's fine. Yeah.
So, you do most of the graphics behind everything, yes? Like the show and everything?
I do. I'm the full-time editor and someone director. All I do is just say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and action, and then he does the rest. So yeah.
So, I have a question. So, I use StreamYard when I do drop my videos, and I try super hard to do it all in one take because I don't know what editing software, and I don't want to go with like a super expensive one. Is there like a mid-range or an economical editing software to do videos that you would recommend?
Sony Vegas is an awesome one to use for Windows computers.
Okay.
I know that it works on Macintoshes too, but the best one for Macs I found is Final Cut Pro. But that's like a higher level. It's like $300. So and that's a one-time payment. I don't know if Sony Vegas has a month plan like Photoshop. I don't use Photoshop anymore. I use Photopea for everything because that's like a free version, and that does the same thing that Photoshop does. So.
I'd love to be able to put like the graphics on, like when I do an unboxing video or something, being able to put the prices up in the corner, or like pop in, like you go back after the show, and even if it, like we had you guys on tonight, but like pop like a Power Ranger in, or
right.
A comic that you mentioned, and we could pop that in or something. I don't have that ability right now, and I think that would be bye.
But that's fine. He's
I think that would be the next, the next step up for me to kind of elevate the show.
Right.
I use Canva to do my graphics.
I do. Yeah, Canva's like the greatest thing ever made so far.
And they've upgraded it quite a bit in the past year.
Yeah, I just had the basic version. I might use a premium version because the premium version has a little bit more options.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's only like $5 to $10 a month. So.
Yeah, that's why I upgraded to the premium version.
Yeah.
I can make my own videos, which is what you saw for the hype video yesterday that I did. I can make the videos within the videos and stuff like that. But I was looking for a good editing software. Hey, Professor Josh, how are you? So now you have your own channel, and I know that it has to do with music. So are you can you kind of explain that aspect of yourself and your life outside of doing Wheel of Misfortune?
Yes. So although I do love Wheel of Misfortune to death, when words fail me, Music Speaks podcast is my baby. Yeah, because I find music as a relief, as a stress reliever. Because I have depression a lot. And music just gets me through it. And music is always there. You can find music anywhere, in your car, at home, on the phone, on the computer, YouTube. So what we do on the show is we have two shows really. We have the A show, which is on Mondays. Me and my co-host Blake Mosley. We call him Brosley on the show. So what we do there is we think of at least 5 bands in a certain genre, and we go through all those 5 bands. We explain how they met, who is in the band, and their career thus far, and that's what we do on our Monday show. Wednesday shows is a different breed because I do most of the interviews, although my co-host has done 2 of them. So that's me and my co-host can't do it all the time, so I do most of the interviews. So that's the Wednesday show, So Mondays and Wednesdays.
No, I very much agree with you as far as music being healing. I mean, I've gone through a lot in my life over the past month, like since right before Christmas, and I did the whole angry breakup music, and then I did the whole I'm free dance around the house music, and then I lost my dog, and then I did the sad music day and stuff like that, and I still have one, and she just like sits on the couch and looks at me like, what are you doing? You're a grown woman, and you're
weirdo.
Yeah, I'm like sweeping with a broom, and I'll stop and belt out like a Fall Out Boy song or something, and she's just looking at me like,
what do you I'll do it with you. yeah. But yeah, music is something to be said because like I said before, I mean, it heals you in so many ways, and laughing too is it's an awesome healer too. So let me ask you this: what songs do you know that you can't really explain to anybody after you hear them? Like, what song really gets you thinking about stuff that you really can't explain?
I will be honest with you, and it's not just because of the movie. I think I like the movie because the song is in it, but "In Your Eyes" by Peter Gabriel.
Yeah.
Um,
Good
because
one.
it has so many meanings to it. I mean, it has the whole typical meaning of love and everything else, but then it's kind of loss as well.
Right.
So I "In Your Eyes," and then I don't know what all of the language is at the end. I've always wanted to like find the lyrics and then try and translate what those guys are saying at the end of it because I don't know.
Yeah.
And I had the opportunity to see him in concert
Oh, nice.
live, and it was amazing because he had all of those guys out there singing along in the background to him, and he was in a giant hamster ball, like a big inflatable hamster ball, and he was like crowd surfing the whole crowd.
Nice.
It was amazing. I mean, he put on a great show, but that song has always stuck with me. And then, of course, I don't understand any of the new rap lyrics. I'm sorry.
I do. Okay, so I do love Kendrick Lamar right here, as you see. He's one of the greatest, of all time right now. I like Drake. I like Rick Ross. Lil Wayne has some good music, although like you said before, I can't really get with him much. But Ice-T is awesome guy because when he did the rap career for a long time, I guess he wanted to transform into like a metal band, so he formed a metal band called Body Count, and they're really, really good.
Really?
They're really, really good. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like Busta Rhymes, and he goes so fast.
Yeah.
That you almost have to like slow it down, and you couldn't do that back in the 90s because we didn't have all this digital stuff. But now you can kind of slow it down and like listen to him. I mean, it's awkward to listen to it because it doesn't go with the beat, but at the same time, I can hear more of what he's saying.
Yeah, right.
So, all right, real quick, is my audio okay?
Yes. Yeah, you're perfect.
Perfect.
Not too loud?
Nope. You got it. You got it. Yeah.
All right. When it comes to like speed rap, like this, I'll give a little shout out to Sendin. He's been doing these little reaction videos. And he did one for somebody that I'm a huge fan of. I had no idea about him until I went to when you're going to talk about speed rap, I went to a Tech 9 concert, and this guy, his name's Dax, like opened up for him and was one of the acts. And he's somebody that can speed rap and you can understand. Like he's one that it's because I'm not huge on a lot of the speed rap. I was a fan of Twista when I was growing up. Bone Thugs and Harmony, but
right, yeah, Bone's good too.
Yeah, it's that. I mean, if it's those, I can listen to it. But I mean, if we're gonna talk about mumble rap, like Brandy's kind of referring to, yeah, I can't go down that route at all.
Well, and it's not. I mean, I like it, and I was afraid. Like looking back on my parents, like I was afraid that I was going to get stuck listening to 80s, late 70s, 80s music because that's what I grew up with. But I have been able to still trend. And the funny thing is, I can literally get to Eminem's house in about 10 minutes from where I live. And Kid Rock went to my high school. So I actually was in high school with his sister.
Okay. Okay.
So he went to Romeo before he dropped out. And so that's where I live. And, so I have ties to some of these bigger guys. So I always liked Eminem. I always liked Kid Rock. I didn't agree with all of Kid Rock's songs, especially the early stuff, which Golden Earmuffs, Yodelin' in the Valley, because I didn't get it at first. And then I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, it's been, and I live in Detroit, so it's very much music oriented.
You live in Detroit, Rock City, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Home, I think that's the home of Ted Nugent, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's a really big
still lives
guy.
in the state. And there's some people, I have no problem with him, but there's some people in the state that wish he didn't.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
Cooper.
Funny thing about my my podcast with Alice Cooper, I will tell you this real fast. Is when I first started the podcast, I wanted to go really high, high on the interview list, and I thought about interviewing Nita Strauss, Alice Cooper's now guitarist. So I emailed her PR person, and she said that I don't have enough downloads yet. So I'm like, I don't think I could get that many downloads unless I have Nita Strauss on. So I guess it's like give or take kind of thing, you know. So
Right.
yeah.
No, Alice Cooper is an autograph that you really want.
No. Nita Strauss is interviewed at a really one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because she's a guitarist for him, and I think that would be cool interview, you know. So
Hang on, I'll be right back. You
sure.
talk amongst yourselves.
Gentlemen,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I do
I,
see Adam from Tool. He would be a great interview to get, you know. So
wow.
there's a lot of people who I want, but you know, it'd be really hard for me to get right now. So
Yeah, Tool was something I really didn't follow for the longest time, and then
Yeah.
as soon as I started to start to relate a little bit and was like, all right, this actually, you know what, I'm missing out. Like,
yeah. Well, see,
they,
Tool is like a Tool is like a flavor you got to get used to, you know. Build up.
yeah,
you know.
it's acquired
They're-
taste. It's a strong
Yeah.
coffee.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but they're pretty weird, you know. But yeah, Maynard, yeah, he's a genius. He's a weird one, but you know, he gets it done.
Yeah, like it's funny. Like I went more backwards than I did forwards. Like I didn't stay. What is this?
Oh, nice. That's Johnny Depp, Alice Cooper, and Joe Perry.
Joe Perry.
Talking with Vampires. You know, I heard of that band, but I never heard any of their music. I
So
heard it.
they didn't do. I think they had a couple of songs that they did together.
Okay.
So
Right.
my mom got us front row tickets because my mom is like a huge Johnny Depp fan.
Oh, well,
And
yeah.
So she got us front row tickets, and then it must have been like a week or two before that is when Joe Perry fell off the stage and hurt himself. So Joe Perry wasn't there.
Right.
We had someone from Stone Temple Pilots was playing in his place, but we also got the meet and greet. So I actually have a picture with my mom and I standing with Johnny Depp and Alice Cooper. Now I'm 6'3".
Right.
So
Oh,
you
and
can
they're like
imagine them
they're short. Yeah.
about right
Yeah.
here.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
But Alice Cooper was super cool, so down to earth. Like I expected him to be like scary, kind of like out there, kind of, and he was so normal,
Right.
so normal.
So I imagine that you met a ton of musicians, right?
I've actually met more Hollywood people than musicians and more athletes, to be honest with you. Because my mom was in personal training, so a lot of the Lions, my mom worked with some of them and their wives.
Right.
And so like Antonio London, Luther Ellis, trying to think who else. Like Caden is playing on the Saints now. Caden's one of the linebackers on the Saints, and that's his son, and I babysat his son. But I've met, let's see, I got on a phone call. My favorite story in the world about any musician I've ever met was my mom and dad took me to dinner. I was probably 12, 13 years old. And she starts telling me about her niece and all this stuff. And she's like, oh, yeah, my niece is a singer and blah, 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 blah. And her niece ended up calling. And she's like, well, do you want to talk to her? And I'm like, who? And she said, Belinda. And she hands me the phone. And on the other end of the phone is Belinda Carlisle of the Go-Go's. I about died.
Yes. I love the Go-Go's. They're amazing. Yeah.
I almost died.
Yeah.
That would have been another moment where I just would have been like, can you just talk? Because I can't speak right now.
Can I just hear your voice or something? You know? Yeah.
So she sang a little bit of We Got the Beat to me. And it was just like one of those things. It was like,
Yeah.
And it's funny you say that because I was just about to mention, so Axl Rose is from my town.
Right.
And he went to the same, my mom went to the same high school as him. Family friends actually went to high school with him. Well, my friend's one of my really close friends' grandmother, so I basically grew up with them as well. He called her on some big birthday year, 40th, 50th, something, and like sang Sweet Child of Mine to her over the phone, and had came back and visited her a few times, but that was, I don't know, I think before he went completely nuts.
Yeah. Right.
But that's, I mean, I think I've met more musicians than anything else. Like the whole band of like POD, Shinedown, Newfound Glory.
I've been a lot of musicians only because I used to remember MySpace from way back when. Everybody, yeah. So I used to email the actual band members, and sometimes I would hear from them, sometimes I wouldn't. And then I would say, "Hey, I'm handicapped. Can you, if I come around back, House of Blue from Myrtle Beach, would you mind talking to me for a minute?" And they're like, "Yeah, man, come on." So that's how I met Demon Hunter and Alice in Chains and like a lot of other bands, But my favorite one was I met Zach Wilde from the Black Label Society twice in one day. I paid for a meet and greet. It was like $100, and I met him, and then me and my friend Joe, we were hungry, so we like, yeah, you want to go to Hooters? And I'm like, yeah, man, it's Hooters, right? So we went out to Hooters, right? And there it was. I was sitting at the desk with like 4 pitchers of beer, just drinking them, one by one, and like, oh god, it's Zach Wilde again. I'm like, and then I went up there and met him again, and he remembered me because he just met me like 5 minutes ago.
Right.
So that was pretty great for me to experience. So
I literally bumped into Liz Fair at the Lilith Fair. She was going through. They were taking her through the crowd, and I didn't see her. I was talking to somebody, and I'll be honest, I was drunk. Yeah, and I turned around and I just happened to like bump her a little bit, and she's like, "Oh, sorry." She was super nice. And then I met Train.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I won a contest off the radio, and I got to go to the studio with my best friend. And we again, here's me, here's Train. Everybody was a foot shorter than me, but that's been fun. But for a while there, they were doing a lot of movies here in Detroit, like they did Transformers and stuff like that, and my family would go. We would go to dinner all the time down to what's it called? It's Michael Simon's restaurant downtown, and we would go down there all the time. So like Christian Slater, Ray Liotta. I was standing at the bar, ended up having like a 5-minute conversation with Ray Liotta, and like he talking about the cocktails and steaks and stuff because we were in the VIP room. I don't know how we got it.
Right.
Blue,
snuck in, right?
Jaromir Jagr from the Penguins. The whole Penguins team walked by one night. Tons of the Red Wings, Lions. Obviously, everyone knows about my infamous run-in with Tom Brady. I still hate the guy. Sassy, your Saints let me down.
They won me some money.
I do know that Mama J met Bon Jovi, and she said she met Alice Cooper before, so she would be a good one to.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, she was in videos too. So I was like, you could absolutely. Bye, Mama J. I'll see you in just a couple minutes. Yeah, she would be a good one because she's got lots of stories from out there.
Yeah, exactly. So all good stuff.
Yeah. Well, guys, we have to end on time because I have to go take on Miss Sassy Cajun and Mr. Eric, 2 boys and their pops, and who's smarter than a Spectre. I know that I'm not.
Good luck.
But I'm going to give it my all and my best. We're going to see how this goes. I did get to pick one category, but if I don't win that category, that's bad.
Of course, big fan.
Yeah, so I'm hoping I do okay. But James, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been amazing, to talk to you. I see you, all the time on different channels, and I've watched your channel and obviously on Wheel of Misfortune. But it's been nice to get to know you a little bit deeper. So I really do appreciate it. Everybody, head over to Mama J's channel. I'm about to get my butt kicked. It'll be fun.
No, don't say that. Yeah, you win. You
got this.
Eric, 2 boys is he's very, very smart. So is Spectre, and we both know a lot.
You know what?
Challenge, so
then you need to challenge them to a heat challenge. Okay, I know you can. I know you can do. You can do hot stuff. So you can take them down, and we can.
We got to talk tomorrow. Actually, I found a new one for us to do. I'll even buy it.
Whatever you do, don't do the hottest coming there. That's hotter than hell.
That's what I want to do.
No, dude, you'll die. I almost did.
I've done the 1 chip challenge. He's done Satan's toe. I've done the death nuts. So I'm figuring the gummy bear can't be anything compared to that. I heard that was
the hardest thing I've ever tasted in my life. Trust me. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, my mouth's watering. I'm getting tingles. So my face is turning red. Like, this is going to be great.
It should turn bright red. So, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Enjoy.
I'm never scared. I'll do it.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
All right.